I recently changed my phone number and ended up with one previously owned by a woman who changed her number to get away from her ex-girlfriend. To make this less confusing, let's call the ex-girlfriend Sarah and the other woman Lisa. One day, I received a message from Lisa because she texted her previous number, which is now mine, and asked if I could provide a security code being sent to the number so she could log into her social media accounts and update them with her new number. I provided her with the codes when she requested them. I was also happy to help because I needed her to remove the number from her accounts so I could link it to mine. Note, I use a password manager. My 2FA codes are generated within the manager, so my 2FA codes aren't sent via SMS. I also have passkey set up on all accounts, which allow it. Some of you believe that I shouldn't have given her the codes. I can't argue with that, but in this particular case, Lisa's intentions were honest, nothing nefarious. We chatted a bit about general stuff and decided to keep the lines of communication open in case we needed to access an account or needed technical assistance. I texted Lisa one day asking her to remove her number from a social app so I could create an account using my new number. What I didn't know was that at the time I texted her, she was around Sarah, for reasons I don't know. Sarah saw my name pop up and assumed I was someone Lisa was involved with. Lisa had spent a weekend at a hotel a few weeks prior, before I knew her, with someone, and Sarah thinks I'm that person. Now, Sarah somehow got my number and called, pretending to be a friend of Lisa. I told her, this is no longer her number, but I am in contact with Lisa. I'll let her know to reach out to you. She then started asking how I knew Lisa. I explained the situation. Then she started asking where I was from, saying, I'm Jackie. What's your name? I was a bit nervous answering those questions because it seemed invasive for someone reaching out to the wrong person, but I answered them. I texted Lisa to let her know that someone named Jackie was looking for her. As it turned out, Lisa was with Jackie at the time, so it was impossible for her to call. That's when the drama really started, because Sarah was pretending to be Jackie during that call. Now, Sarah has called me from about 20 different numbers, pretending to be various people in an attempt to get information on me. She has cussed me out and blown up my phone, and hasn't stopped. Since I got the number, I've also received calls from debt collectors looking for Sarah. I usually tell them I don't know who that is and that I just got this number, and they say they'll remove it from the system. Now, when a debt collector calls looking for Sarah, I say I don't know her and that I can't stand bitch. I then offer to do them a favor by providing them with Sarah's main number. Just to be clear, I don't know any of these women. All I did was get a new number, and it came with all this bullshit. TLDR, something as simple as a number change is causing me this much drama. Believe it or not, this is my third number change in 2 months because I had to change the previous number because the previous owner, Tasha, had men sending nude pictures and calling the phone with their sexy voice on at 2, 3 in the morning. I couldn't take it anymore, so I changed the number and ended up in this drama. Phone company has cautioned me not to change the number for a few months in hope that this will all go away before requesting another change because it could happen again because numbers are only recycled for 60 to 90 days and they back online. This is just quick overview of what's happening, but it gets crazier. I just don't have the patience to type it all. Edit. Since people are asking for more, I will try to post a part 2 of this drama if I get time this weekend. Today, I fucked up by trying to be romantic. I wanted to surprise my partner with a romantic candlelit dinner tonight. We've both been super busy lately, and I thought a special evening at home would be a perfect way to reconnect. I went all out, cleaned the apartment, cooked their favorite meal, and set the table with our best dishes. To create the perfect ambiance, I bought a bunch of scented candles and placed them all around the living room and dining area. As I was putting the finishing touches on the meal, I realized I might have gone a bit overboard with the candles, but they looked so beautiful flickering softly in the dim light. My partner texted that they were on their way home, so I quickly lit all the candles and dimmed the lights. Everything was going smoothly. The table looked amazing, the food smelled delicious, and I felt like a romantic genius. My partner walked in and was genuinely surprised and touched by the effort I put into the evening. We sat down to eat, enjoying the candlelight and each other's company. After dinner, we moved to the couch to relax with some wine. That's when I noticed the smell of something burning. At first, I thought it was just the food I had left in the oven, but then I saw it. One of the curtains had drifted too close to a candle and caught fire. Panicking, I grabbed the nearest thing, a glass of water, and threw it on the flames, but it wasn't enough. My partner jumped up and grabbed a towel, and together we managed to smother the fire before it spread. However, the smoke from the burning curtain had already set off the fire alarm. The piercing sound filled the apartment, and soon enough, the building's alarm system kicked in. Moments later, we heard the sound of approaching sirens. We ran to the window to see a fire truck pulling up. I felt my face turning red with embarrassment. My partner tried to calm me down, saying it was an honest mistake, but I couldn't help feeling like an idiot. The firefighters came up to our apartment, checked everything out, and made sure the fire was completely out. They were very professional and didn't make me feel worse than I already did. By the time they left, the romantic mood was long gone. My partner and I sat on the couch, surrounded by half-melted candles and a slightly charred curtain, and burst out laughing at the absurdity of the situation. We decided that maybe next time a simple dinner without so many candles would be just as romantic. TLDR, tried to surprise my partner with a romantic candlelit dinner, but placed too many candles. One caught the curtain on fire, setting off the smoke alarm and bringing firefighters to our apartment. Romantic evening turned into a hilarious disaster, but at least we have a funny story now. Today, I fucked up by getting my girlfriend flowers. Hi, today I fucked up by getting my girlfriend flowers. I, man 46 years, have been seeing my girlfriend, woman 39 years, for about a year. She had just come out of a divorce and is the most incredible woman I've ever known. Simply beautiful and hilariously smart. Sweetest, most empathetic lady ever. She has 2 kids and some fairly religious parents that I know about but have not yet met, as she thinks it's still a little too soon to bring me around, which I completely understand and am patient with. I'm dying to be a part of her whole life and can't wait, but understand it's on her time frame, and I respect it fully. I've been working around her house while the kids are in camp or in school, doing projects, and just fixing things here and there. I stay there when the kids are visiting their father, etc. She has had a very mischievous cat the entire time I've known her, and always said I could never get flowers as the cat would knock him down and whatnot, so I never did. Over the weekend, the cat was given away to the father as she no longer wanted the cat in the house. She mentioned she was a little sad the little guy was gone, but excited to be able to finally decorate how she wanted and get new furniture and so on. Today, I finally finished installing an entire in-ground sprinkler system with 12 heads in her backyard that I've been working on for a couple weeks. Knowing the cat was gone, I thought, yes, I can finally get her flowers. I drove around to a few florists and meticulously picked out flowers to build a very beautiful bouquet and got a card for them which I wrote on it, "Now I can get you flowers. Love, me." I got back to her house and walked in and placed them on the counter. She was at work. I left thinking I did the sweetest thing and I was high on finishing the sprinklers, and she was so happy. She just texted me saying the flowers are beautiful and I appreciate the gesture so much. But when I got home, my parents and kids were sitting there asking me a million questions about them. Parents were babysitting and brought them back early. I was mortified. I was so excited all day, waiting for her reaction, and it did not go how I wished. She said, "You put me in a really awkward place because I wanted to be able to choose when I told my parents and kids when or if I was dating, and now I'm answering questions I didn't want to." I kept apologizing and saying how dumb I was. I should have just put them in her bathroom, but I hadn't even considered her parents or kids would be back at the house before her. I know she's upset with me, even though she says the flowers are beautiful and says she knows that wasn't my intention, I'm thoughtful, etc. But I think I really screwed up badly and put her in a bad spot. Oddly, I think this will somehow lead to her considering that I'm not actually a good fit because I didn't consider the possibilities of doing that. I just wanted to get her flowers, finally. Ugh, TLDR. TIFU, by getting my girlfriend flowers, and her parents and kids now know she's seeing someone, even though she said to them, a friend got them. Double ouch. Today, I fucked up by playing along with the wrong handshake and denching my friend. I am incredibly socially awkward, especially since most events where I live take place in bars, and I don't drink. So all the bonding, inside jokes, and camaraderie happen around activities that I don't partake in. I also work from home, so these events are the only times I get to interact with others. That means I have a lot of friends, but there is always a distance between us, and I feel left out of the more personal experiences. At a buddy's birthday party, I bumped into my friends Niall and Tim, who were excited to show me something. Niall had invented a new handshake. To do it, the hands make contact, but stay flat. You then slide your hands across one another so that they go into the other person's sleeve. Then you wiggle your fingers to give one another's arm a little tickle. This looked incredibly weird to me. The night before, my wife and I had watched Notes on a Scandal, and the whole situation reminded me of an especially creepy scene where stalker Judi Dench did almost the exact same thing to Cate Blanchett. But Niall and Tim were super into it and laughing. I'm so rarely invited into these close bonding experiences that I figured, sure, I'm confident and cool enough not to be weirded out by having an under-the-sleeve fondle party with another dude, reenacting one of the creepiest scenes in Judi Dench's acting career. So I did the handshake with Niall. I showed them the movie scene on YouTube and suggested Niall call his new handshake denching. They agreed, and the party continued. It was a weird thing, but I felt included. In the weeks following, every time I saw Niall or Tim, I'd go in for a handshake, slide my hand along their hand, reach into their sleeves, and tickle their forearm. Eventually, I'd just shout, "Dench me," across the room as I walked up to them. I felt like I was finally getting close enough to my friends' circle to share in one another weirdness. After a couple months of doing this, someone else at the table looked weirded out by this handshake, so I told them the whole story. As I explained, Niall looked confused. That's when he explained it from his point of view. As someone who doesn't drink, I was unaware of just how much of the nonsense people come up with when intoxicated they actually remember. Tim and Niall had zero recollection of inventing this handshake. As the only sober person in the conversation, I was the only one who remembered it. So from their point of view, I was the weird one who just out of nowhere started sliding my hand inside their shirts and fondling their arms in front of everyone while shouting, "Dench me!" Even after explaining it, they weren't sure if they believed me. TLDR, my drunk friends invented a creepy handshake and forgot about it. I played along for months before realizing they thought it was my idea.